I'm just saying, your mama is so beautiful.
She is.
Thank you.
Oh, she is.
And I will make a great stepfather because I raised my kids well, right?
And I'm in need of a stepdad.
You are in need of a stepdad. I'm in need of one too, but you might not.
You really need a stepdad, Leah.
I do. Okay. Anyways, that's enough. We gotta take over the JeVaughn Show.
Get a little bit crazy. Let's get a little bit crazy.
I didn't know what you were. We gotta take over the JeVaughn Show.
Let's get a little bit crazy. Yeah. Let's get a little bit crazy.
Hello, everybody. Hello. Hello. Is it me you're looking for? Hey, it's the JeVaughn Show. I'm JeVaughn, and because I have a podcast today with two best friends, I decided to bring on my best friend because I'm not going to get best friend out today. That's not what we're going to do. We're not getting best friend out today. Not on the JeVaughn Show, we're not. So I brought in this young lady. She's going to introduce herself and stop hiding in the corner. Why are you in the corner? Baby, get out the corner. You can't put baby in the corner.
Hello, this is Gigi Jones here, JeVaugh's best friend.
Hello, Gigi Jones. Recently married Gigi Jones, the wonderful, awesome David who has let us come into his studio. In here today. This is not even a green wall. This is like real. They really got stuff. They got stuff for real. So I'm here and I am doing this special edition of the JeVaughn Show because there are these young ladies who I saw and I watched their show live. And I said, if I will go live again, if I ever go live again, I will not be going live unless they're on the other side of the screen. So I'm going to bring to you all right now. Are you going to really stay in that corner? You like right? Do you see the corner that you sitting in right now?
Killing me.
You know what show don't have people off in corners? The Good Judy Podcast.
Praise the Lord, everybody!
Praise the Lord!
Praise the Lord, everybody!
He's a mighty good God.
First of all, I am so excited to have two best friends come on this show. And I just know me and Gigi are in the way of whatever it is that y'all are going to do today. This is not even my show right now. It's the JeVaughn Show with the Good Judy Podcast taking over for the JeVaughn Show.
We gotta take over the JeVaughn Show. Oh God, we ain't got a set list. Let's just freestyle. Okay, we can freestyle a set list.
What is the Good Judy Podcast?
The Good Judy Podcast was something that I started back in 2018. It just started on my mind and on paper. And I thought I had all the intricate pieces. And I kind of like left it dormant. I left it there. I didn't really revisit it until earlier this year. Leah came to visit me. I'm in Vegas doing a 6-month residency with John Legend. So I sing for a living. So she was out here visiting me and we just started talking. Like we cackle, we laugh, how you see us on the show, that's how we are all of the time. So I just had an awakening experience and I presented it to her and a few others and she was the only person that was just like perfect for it. And when we first started out, it was a different direction because we are church girls by heart, but we were so hurt and by the church and by things that had happened to us while we were actively in ministry. So we wanted to be totally opposite of that. But, you know, you can take the girl out the church, but you can't take the church out the girl. So it organically became something that we authentically are with your normal girls who have been through a lot.
I don't even really want to say the title because it's so cliche.
Yeah.
But church hurt.
Yeah. Did you ever feel protected in church?
I'm listen. You know, who's to blame?
Don't sleep with them.
Weed with
and don't.
Did you say don't
sleep? Wait.
I get called a Jezebel and I was sent on assignment to destroy your church.
No.
That's terrible.
Yeah,
the thing is, like, okay, wait.
That is one of the most distinct things you can remember that caused you to leave the church, that you feel like was a stain of church hurt on you.
Oh, okay. We're going there.
I think the platform is Good Judy's because a Good Judy is basically a close friend that provides a safe space for you to be able to talk about anything that you're dealing with without judgment. And that's what we want to provide, a platform for us to talk about things that plague our culture, especially in the Christian community, that topics that are taboo, that are kind of untouchable, and just, I guess, approach them with a humor. And it's some funny stuff that happens in church, and a lot of things helped us heal by laughing at the things that we went through. After God was able to deliver us from it, we started to look back and say, yo, we were stupid, or we did this wrong, or, just having a way to vent without it being so dark. And I think we do an amazing job from, I don't know, Leah's perspective, but I
do say so myself, I have to, I have to toot our own horn.
Yeah.
Not the saxophone. Yeah. She, like, y'all hear how she talks? Like, do you hear how articulate this lady is? Like, she really has, like, a lot of insight. And I couldn't imagine doing it, like, with anybody else. And I couldn't imagine doing it by myself because, like, I don't know if it comes off like that, but I'm kind of shy and, like, reserved. Even though it comes off very outgoing, like, a lot of the times I'm very, like, nervous. I have a lot of nervous energy and, like, awkward social energy sometimes. So, yeah. Yeah,
I think that either Shenice is real stoic right now, looking. Oh, she is.
This is the thing. Moving. I will tell y'all what. Shenice is tired.
I'm exhausted. Yeah,
what
it's
time
10 a.m. here. I'm really tired. We did a show last night, and I didn't get to bed until like 4 hours ago. So I'm just really tired.
You know how. That is like such a privilege that you would come on my show 4 hours of sleep after singing with John Legend to talk to the little old JeVaughn and big girl Gigi over here.
Yeah,
that is fun.
I love that you always keep the little people close to your heart.
Oh, please. I'm honored that you guys want to interview us. I think for me, it's always just about using my platform. I've been an industry baby since I was a little girl. So just always allowing God to expand my platform to be able to discuss things that me and Leah have both gone through. She's a recovering addict. I struggle with depression and suicide and things like that. Although our outward is very flamboyant and we like to laugh, we've been through a lot of tough things. So thank you for the opportunity, for sure. I think it's amazing to be here, and people care about us enough to bring us onto their platform.
That's crazy.
So that you all know, we are cousins through Marquise Jelks. So just know that, like, we are all family. So when I
cousins.
We are all cousins. So we're all cousins. So I ask this with the greatest respect. Which addiction was your favorite, Leah? Because I'm gonna name my 3 top ones.
Is this happening right now? Is this live on air?
Are we allowed to say? Listen, I've watched your show. I know that you all will talk about anything.
And we will.
And dude, let's get into it. I eat that up for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Let's go.
So no, I actually wrote a movie about mine. It's called
movie called is crazy.
My Addiction, a Poker Story. I'm gonna do My Addiction, a Poker Story. That's what we're filming right now. And then we're gonna do my.
You need to put us in it. What's T?
Listen, you all are doing the soundtrack.
Oh,
I got you. I was gonna
put
y'all
ready.
But we're doing like a whole series of My Addiction. So that's why I was asking Leah which one was hers, because I was going to write one specifically for her that she can star in, and then we can just go ahead and just put it out there like,
listen, you already got the Wanda from Holiday Heart wig.
God is so good. He's delivering me. I had this wig on for like 6 weeks. This wig.
It had you in a stronghold.
This wig has been hanging on by the hair of my chinny chin.
Wait, can I chime in? I do want to say that you guys have like 2, and I don't know if I'm absolutely right, but just looking at y'all and talking to y'all just for a few minutes, you guys have like 2 different personalities, which is like totally me and this guy right here. And I think it's absolutely awesome that you guys have this platform where y'all can be transparent, because me coming from a world of depression and anxiety and dealing with the church and having church hurt and stuff like that, I know it's hard to actually come out and talk about those things. So for you guys to make that platform where you guys can both come together and share your two different, different stories and, vent and be able to let that out, that's a form of healing as well, is to be able to talk about it. And I think that's absolutely amazing.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we're not polar opposites, but we are different in age. We have a lot of similarities. We both are PKs. Both of our fathers are pastors. Rest in peace to Leah's father. But we both have that in common. We both are mothers. We both have two beautiful boys. We both have dealt with similar things. But again, I'm an industry kid, so my mom is an R&B singer. So a lot of militant things were instilled into me. So I'm the more serious one. I like to cackle, but because of the industry connections that I have, I can't be as I can't just say anything like I want to.
Yeah.
So Leah is able
You're not
to
as
say,
liberal as you
I
would
don't
like
want
to
to damage certain things. I don't want to bring any bad rapport on my mother. So a lot of that is just me being protected over the name that I've built and the name that my mom has built and the legacy that she's passed on to me. So I'm not like a mean person. I have a lot of that in my head. My father being a pastor, I've always had people looking at me to live my life a certain type of way. So I think me being 32, I'm still trying to find my voice and still protect my parents as well. So Leah's the more vocal, active one. I mean, I get active sometimes, but I think that's the beautiful part about, what we have. Leah's able to be a little bit more open with the things that she says and her opinion and things like that, unapologetically. But for me, unfortunately, I can't like I would want to. But that's what our group chat is for. We be talking about y'all.
Do you think that that's like attributed to the depression that you dealt with in your life? Is the fact that you've had to live a life kind of quiet?
Of course, I think so, because early on, I inherited, I think, what was a personality disorder, because my father was a preacher. My mom was in sin in the world singing. So I never really knew who Shenice was. So when I was with my father, I was a PK church girl. When I was with my mom, I was able to really do whatever I wanted to do. And then me having to live with my grandmother because my parents were so busy, I never really had a chance to really grow and find myself until I was about 30. So I've been on this journey of self-discovery for the past 2 years. And, growing up in a Christian home, you really can't tell your grandmother, who's a prayer warrior, that I'm having thoughts of killing myself. I think I'm depressed, without them just throwing the Bible at you. There was never really an avenue for me to really actually get help until I did. I tried to commit suicide for real, ended up in a home. And that's when my family was just like, okay. And they still wasn't proactive with my care, with me getting the therapist. I had to do that on my own after multiple suicide attempts, after being diagnosed with manic depression and bipolar and things like that. So I think that's what stifled me a little bit, knowing that something was wrong. But in the Christian community, depression and anxiety and having suicidal thoughts, we don't have a room for people to have actual help other than the Bible and prayer, which is amazing. But I really do believe you can have Jesus and a therapist too. And I think if we start to have those real conversations in the four walls of the church, people will really get the help that they need, in addition to prayer and the Bible and things like that. But the main issue is a lot of that that I went through in church was the cause and the root of my depression as well. So how do I get help from the very place that's the root of my issue? So just having to go through all of that, in a nutshell, was hard.
But I didn't know that how much she was struggling, like, actively. I didn't know how much it was still like a current, toll on her. Until she had a
you could just say it like an episode.
Technical term, like I don't want to call it an episode because I don't know. I feel like it sounds so bad, but she just had I don't know. She was going through something at the time, and I didn't know that until that situation had occurred, and so I kind of felt bad because I was like, why couldn't I see that this person that I'm so close to was hurting so bad, and had she had actually decided to go through with taking her own life, I don't know how I would have been able to deal with that, because just seeing her talking to her every day, interacting with her every day, seeing how she handles her job, her kids, like life in general. Like, I always looked up to her. So I didn't know that. I really didn't know that. Yeah. So I'm glad that she's still here today, looking beautiful, singing with John Legend and things.
You decided to do this podcast, the Good Judy Podcast. I was hoping that maybe your middle name was Judy, or maybe you had a best friend a long time ago named Judy. How often do you get asked about the whole Judy portion of it?
It's crazy because I grew up around a lot of people in the LGBTQ community. My mom's stylist, her hairstylist, her assistant. And that's just a very popular term in that community. And when I first thought of the podcast, it was supposed to be a cultural thing. I was going to have all walks of life, 4 different hosts, one being somebody in that community. So that's what a good Judy is, your good girlfriend, your good homegirl. And I started to think about it when we transitioned to the type of content that we had. And God dealt with me about not changing it because everything that he does is good. And he took me to certain scriptures and things like that. So I think what our heart is just, we are those good girlfriends that you can come to and talk to. And I think the premise of that, just the undertone of who we are, the foundation of who we are as people, we've been through so much. God had to humble us. God had to take us through a sharpening season. We both went through a lot. And I think we are both in a place where we can be non-judgmental and we also add a lot of insight. Leah is funny, but she's also very wise. And I think beyond, that's why we like to do icebreakers, and then we like to get to the meat of the thing, because you can pull people in with comedy, but then when we have your attention, we want to let y'all know that we are wise. We have a lot of insight on things because we actually went through stuff. So I think that even though what the devil meant for evil in our life, God turned it for our good. And
come on here.
Testament to God being able to deliver you. And that's that thing again where you can really go to the foundation of prayer. You can go to the foundation of the word of God, and still have those different things in place. Leah went to, where did you go? You went to, with her drug addiction. She went away.
Oh, rehab.
So she was still able to come out of rehab and then go back to that foundation of prayer. She could pray her behind off. She knows how to get to God. So I think that part of it, people ask us all the time. And I'm glad God was able to sit me down and give me scripture and give me some type of validation to what the name meant and who we are. And we stand behind it for sure.
And when the thing with you all and the judging of the male gospel artists, when that's the thing that just skyrocketed, right?
Girl, when he started shouting,
Oh, what he do? Oh.
What about Creflo Dollar?
Fine. What about Joel Osteen?
What about Steven Furtick?
Who the hell is that? Fine Franklin. He give me like Disney Channel fine. Dietrich Haddon is creative fine. Like, you creative, so you okay.
MPJ.
Why wasn't I mentioned in that conversation? I've been wanting to ask you. The reason why one of y'all on this show was to ask, why have I not been judged?
Y'all thought this was an interview, but this is really an ambush.
Yes,
I was on the list.
I'll let Leah answer that because she actually came up with that segment of the show when we were discussing content for that night. And it's probably going to surprise you, but go ahead, Leah.
So we always have conversations, and when we are talking about a guy who we might not find conventionally attractive, but we find him attractive in other ways, we'll label him this thing or that thing. So it was supposed to be us just going into like different categories of fine. It was supposed to be about hood dudes, and we were talking about like Shenice was saying, hood dudes always buy their outfits on the day of. Like she was just going in that. So we was like, well, give me a category, like give me a face to who is hood fine. So we started there, and then I really don't know how we ended up getting to the church fine, but I think maybe somebody in the comments was like, well, what about so and so? And from there, I mean, we went on. When you talk about church, we just Shenice was like, I think she started with, you know, who is church fine? Todd Hall.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't. I was like, what is going on? And we went on for hours and hours. I don't know how long we were on there.
We still have like a couple of more parts to that. Like
from that part, yeah.
So was I edited out or something? Because I think that I'm church cute at minimum. So I'm like,
You giving.
No, you don't understand how many times we've been either cyberbullied or seen people in person and they've like tried to hem us up. Like, why wasn't I on the list? From pastors,
attacked.
musicians, from gospel artists. Are like,
I'll work
what's
for
up
names. This is a safe space.
I'm gonna tell you this. Let me give you this little nugget. There was this man in our inbox. I can't even remember his name, but Shenice, you're gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. He was sending us his pictures like I'm the original Big Daddy Bishop. Like he was tagging us in all of his posts, like tagging the podcast page, then my page separately than hers. And then I don't know if he sent a voice message one time. It was just weird. It got really weird.
Yeah, it got really, really weird. We met a couple of bishops the weekend we were filming.
Oh yeah.
Like, y'all shady. Y'all didn't have us on y'all list. We like, sorry.
It wasn't him.
Sorry.
No.
No, it was some other pastor who couldn't preach.
Yeah, he couldn't preach.
Right.
Like, you could be ugly in church. Like, you could be physically ugly, but if you can preach and sing, you church fine.
Jesus.
Like, you look good.
Especially
in that
if
church
you can
setting.
Especially if you can play, you real fine.
It's a lot of childbearing hip organ players. Come
on.
But they fine with them childbearing hips.
And what I say? What do I say?
Oh, Leah love a good hippie organist.
You know I love me a Sir Hips a lot on the organ. Shut up. I love me a good hippie Gonzalez.
And I love me an old Lincoln driving Bishop.
But you know what? It's the drum players that you really have to watch because you can never trust a big butt and a pair of sticks.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah,
I big booty.
What we're not talking about. I'm sorry that my narcissism brings it back to me, but we're not talking about the heterosexual. Why aren't y'all talking about the heterosexual choir directors?
I didn't know
I didn't know there was any. Oh yeah. You know where are they at?
Me?
I don't know. And guess what? I don't either.
So
you direct the choir? Let me see your best choir directing moves, and I judge.
Take me out. Oh, help me, Jesus. Now, listen, the problem is that my hand is a little bit limp sometimes when I direct. So sometimes people be like, I don't know. But
they don't know which direction you be pointing at. They don't know what section
my
you
old
turn.
hand is strong. Is all I'm saying.
Now, I do think there's a lane for it. I haven't seen one in a very long time.
I don't know any famous ones either. It seems like all of the choir directors are like legendarily like gay, like zesty. Like the legend has it, you know.
Legend has it. Legendarily. I love it.
I didn't expect so many people to be offended, like real life offended.
Oh yeah, that was weird.
Yeah.
Especially in the church world. That's
Yeah, we got a lot of positive feedback too, but then when Larry Reed posted us, they were calling us all type of gold digger, bastard. They
was like, why y'all ain't got no broke pastors on the list? I'm like, would you put a broke pastor on your list? Why would you ask us what kind of question? They was like, I'm glad my pastors ain't famous. Your pastor can't preach, so no worries about it.
Anyway, so can we do a segment that talks about gospel artists that are married that we hope to be divorced and single soon? Can I start?
I like that subject, but this is scary. This is scary stuff.
I want to start with Kiera Shear. Do you understand how blessed I would to lead her into a whole new atmosphere of worship. Huh? Can I think? Is that a wrong way to say it? I want to take Jacqueline Carr and just...
I can't believe this is
happening. Somebody go. Okay, so...
This is just... I'm at an all.
You know how you was just saying everything that you feel like, you can't say, Leah says, Okay, so everything that I know shouldn't be said, I wouldn't say, don't want to say.
See each other, sis. I found you in the spirit.
Let's get a little bit crazy.